Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tomb Raider 2, but remastered. We're taking on a fairly chunky level today. This is the Opera House. It's the final level of the Venice section. Spoilers. And there is a substantial amount to do in this level. So we start off out here, which is outside of the actual Opera House itself. We have to find a way in, and then when we're in there we have to find a way through it, which involves a substantial amount of back and forthing and backtracking, and it can be a fairly tough one, but don't worry, I'm here. I'm going to talk us all through it. So first things we need to do is we actually just need to jump down into the water, but before we do, we've got someone we need to take care of, because he will shoot at us from the water. It'd be real nice if you would aim at him, please, Lara. Just taking a quarter of our health out there with that one thing. Please aim, Lara. There you go. There we go. Right, he will just shoot the hell out of you as you're trying to swim up to the little platform there. So it's better to shoot him from up here. But once that's done, we can have a delightful swan dive down and in. There is also this other platform that you can jump up on. It'll still give him the chance to shoot at you. But I guess you're less likely to get hit, but you will still probably take a bit of damage. Also, a little bit of Easter egg knowledge here. The guy who is running this cult that we are after is Marco Bartoli. This is a little poster of his father. I can't remember what his first name is, but it was even there in the original. And they've really put some nice little touches on it, I have to say. But you can get a little achievement for lighting a flare in front of this if you want to. In the remastered edition anyway. I don't think it does anything. It's just a little Easter egg in the original. But just thought I'd show you that in any ways. So moving on, we're going to grab these. So as we don't forget, and then we're going to swim on around here. So we've got a fairly sizable ladder. We're going to need to jump off halfway up. Right, and then straight up here we have a switch. So this switch is going to open this. You can just see a guy kind of running around in there as well, but the main thing there is the key that we need to progress. So a little bit of a slight shortcut here. If you grab this and then just jump straight away, you'll land almost at the start of this platform, allowing you to just jump back over here. Now this can be a little bit of a tricky jump. Despite what you may think, you might think that you want to bend your jump in the air to try to catch beside the box, but don't do that. If you bend your jump, you'll lose distance and you won't make it. So your best bet is to actually just jump straight. You won't actually get close enough to that swinging box to take any damage. You'll just barely catch the edge. So don't be scared of that jump too much. Right, we're not going to need our hands here, so let's get the shotgun ready for our friend down here. So I would like to think I can get this jump without getting hit by the box, but I'm potentially going to still get hit, so let's give this a go. Actually, that went surprisingly well. Oh, ow. There we go. A couple of shots the shotgun takes care of him. And we can grab the key. Once we start coming up these steps, we are going to have another friend come through the door, but it's fine. He's melee, and we can just take a few steps back, and he'll die pretty quickly. This level has a lot of enemies. Some of them will drop pickups and some of them won't. This level is also an absolute devil for enemies dying in places that you can't access their pickups. So if we do have that at any point, I might have to reload an earlier save, which sucks and is really frustrating, but I'll demonstrate what I mean once we get inside the actual opera house, because that's where a majority of this will happen. Right, so we make our way back around to here again and across to here, and then we have what I think is a really devious little trap. So you are likely to drop down to here, this little platform below us, and just take a diagonal jump up and over the roof there. You can see that there's somewhere to go down there, but they've designed the camera and the slopes of the roof to hide a death trap. So I'm just going to save here. I don't think I'm going to mess this up, but those are famous last words. I'm going to take a save here, and then we're just going to jump to the roof, slide down, grab the edge, and then you can drop and grab here. And now you can see that if you had taken that jump, you just die. There's glass spikes here that will just be instant death. And I think it's just really cruel. There's no reason to break those windows. I just kind of do it for fun, I guess. But yeah, once you're through there, do not jump over the roof. Take the slower way around. Walk through it. They won't damage you if you walk through spikes, which I'm not sure if we've demonstrated before. I'm also not sure if the game tells you that in any way, shape, or form in the tutorial. I don't think it does. Another thing it doesn't. But that also worked in the first game, so if you had done that in the first game, you're likely to still think it'll work here. So this is where the key we picked up goes. And throw it straight in there. And follow the path around again. Okay, up we go. And we're going to have a nice little crumbling platform section here. Fairly easy. Just line yourself up with this, this line of 3 and 3. Take a run and jump. Keep running. Take a jump. And once you get to the end, just bend your jump into this little platform here. And up we go. There's nothing else here, but that fall will straight up kill you. There is ground at the bottom, but it will just straight up kill you. Now, I'm hoping I can get this guy before he gets me. Excellent. So, this is... in the original, I think this is more of a problem here. Those enemies can just walk on slopes that we would slide down in the original. I don't know if it's just coincidence that I haven't had that problem in the remaster. But if they die on those slopes, you can't get the pickups, because you can't stop on a slope to pick it up. So you have to be kind of careful at some parts to make sure that when you actually kill the enemy, they're on a flat surface. But I haven't had that problem in the remaster. Now, if we were to drop down here, we would get ambushed from around the corner by 2 dogs and a guard. You can draw them out by hanging off the edge, and they come around. They're all melee, so you can just stand up here and kill them all at your own leisure, like so. And then once they're all dead, you can drop down and grab all the stuff that they dropped. So we get a large medipack there. You are going to have a hard time. I always try anyway. To try to jump up from here, you're going to have a really hard time. It doesn't really matter how far back you go. It's still gonna put you on that slope. So, easiest way I've found is just to find a corner and just hop straight up at the corner. So this guy has some pickups. We do get this music now because we should have been dealing with those 3 enemies. And there's another 2 on the far side. That I think they kind of coax you. They try to coax you into running around this way and getting kind of caught off guard by these guys. There we go. I don't think I took any damage out of those, which is great. So once we get all this, there's technically 2 ways to go, but one's a dead end. So you could think, oh, I wonder what's up here, because obviously there's a swinging box over there. This looks like the easier option. This doesn't lead anywhere. Again, another cheeky little death trap. If you just run off the side here, you will just immediately die. There's nothing here. It's a trap. So the only correct way to go is straight across here. Again, another swinging box. I meant to say earlier, I've nothing against boxes, even the really tricky and annoying box puzzles. But these swinging boxes in this level, and there's quite a few of them, they always feel jarring to me. Like, a little bit like I think it was Bartoli's hideout level. Like, the suits of armor that magically swing their sword. It's like, I appreciate that Tomb Raider has always had elements of the supernatural, and they usually kind of come in later in the game. But mostly, things are kind of, shall we say, grounded in reality. This just is really, it's really jarring to just a perpetually swinging box. Just is a weird one for me. Like dragons and monsters, I can get on board with all of that, but like perpetually swinging boxes and suits of armor that shoot or that drop magically drop swords just always struck me as weird. See if I can get this guy before he gets me. He's quite far away, so we should be fine. Yep, got him. Now this other guy, wherever he's gone, I don't think I killed him, did I? No, there's 2 bodies there. There's 1 body there. Where'd he go? Color me confused. Oh, there he is. Excellent. Oh. Right, I don't think he drops anything. No. But you do. Right, so with all of the roof done, also a little thing that I thought was really cool, a little additional thing. There's a couple of little additional things that they've added, artistic flourishes in this level. This is like a railed cage above the dome of the opera house. In the original, which I'll just flick over to, it's just this. There's nothing. I just think the additional little dome with the cage is just a really neat embellishment on that. And I just like it. I will just quickly show you as well. It's not this one, I don't think. Actually, I think it's the other one. You may be tempted, I don't know if you would see it, but you may be tempted to try your hand at getting that gold dragon. Don't. You don't get it from here. You will just die. It's not worth your time. But we will get it a little later on. So we drop into here. There's 2 switches. This one on the right does nothing at the moment because we are missing an item for here. So the only option we have is this one. So we will drop down here. There is a boulder trap here. It's supposed to catch you out a little bit later when you kind of return back around to this area. We're going to trigger it now. I'll point out how it was supposed to catch you out later. So once you get to here, you can kind of hear the rumble and they'll come down. It's easy enough to trigger. Basically, we'll come out of this door later on. And the idea is once you drop down from it, the boulder trap will trigger. And you potentially won't notice. But I think it's easy enough to see them coming a mile away. So we're going to close that from the inside now. And use it as a ladder. Oh. Hold on, we gotta line ourselves up properly here. Oh, come on. Come on. There we go. Goes much faster once Lara gets up high enough to get her feet onto the ladder. Weirdly enough, you can climb this gated fence, which makes perfect sense from a logical perspective, but it's not something that I thought you should be able to do, considering it doesn't really look like a ladder, but however. So now we are into the opera house proper. One of the nice little, actually I'll show you in a second. I'm actually just gonna hit a save here. We're going to have an enemy coming around the corner here. Whoa, we're dead. Okay, that's what I was afraid of. I wasn't sure if I could get this guy before he got me. That's why I saved just there, so I don't have to go back far at all. We'll give it one more go, see if I can get him before he gets me. I'm not confident. We'll drop a small. Oh, we got him anyway. Okay. We grab his medipack. So these sandbags, these are what are going to be the bane of my existence for pickups from enemies. So these, when you run by them, they drop and they try to kill you, and they kind of fall over sideways. If these drop on an item or where an enemy died, you can kiss goodbye to that pickup. There is no way you can get it. And it's really annoying. And there's a particularly annoying bit on the stage. You can see a sandbag here at the moment. There is another couple. There are quite a few enemies that you will fight on that stage. And yeah, if those sandbags drop where they drop their pickups, tough. And it's really annoying. So that's the kind of thing where I will potentially be saving before in case. But anyways, come down this way, these doors will open, and we'll have a bit of fun. I have to say, usually the dog comes out first. I'm kind of surprised the shooter came out first. But so be it. They don't drop anything. One other additional thing that I thought was really cool, so when I was talking about the artistic flourishes, you have this really big chandelier and this really cool dome roof that we could... That's the outside. That's where we just were. But in the old one, it's just an arched roof. So they've really kind of gone out of their way to make this look really cool and add the dome and the chandelier. And I really like it. I genuinely really like it. Okay, so before we go any further, we're going to try to take this guy out. It might take a while. I have to get a lock on him. Come on, Lara. You can get it. Come on. There we go. So once we've got a lock on, we can just hold it down. And she'll just take pot shots at him whenever he's within range. Shouldn't take too long for him to go down. There we go. Easy peasy and safe. Right, next up we are going to start going down. So you can hear a door open there, which is right below us. We're not going to drop down. We're just going to stay up here and take our pot shots. Whoa. He doesn't normally go up there, I gotta say. I've never seen that before. But that said, I am going to take a quick run around and grab what he picks up. I think it's a large medipack, which is always good. Excellent. Then I'm just going to take the opportunity here. So if we come down these stairs far enough, an enemy will come stage. I never know how stage directions work. Is it the direction from facing it or the direction if you're on the stage? I'm going to say enter stage right here because it's to the right as you're looking at it. But if anyone knows better, please tell me because I always get it mixed up. But anyways, you take him out so we don't have to deal with him later. As we run across here, this is going to trigger another boulder trap. So we're just going to keep running and we'll be fine. They'll just roll on by. And next up, we're going to climb this side. So position ourselves under it, which can be a little hard depth perception wise, but we'll get there. When you're close, but not quite, every time you jump, Lara will inch gradually closer to it until eventually she grabs it. So just a neat little trick if you're struggling to get that, the right spot for that. You can just kind of bounce up and down until it works out. So we'll grab this guy's stuff. And then I'm going to take a quick save here. And then we're going to go down this way. So we're just going to drop all the way down into the water. And start from the bottom. So there's a little rat here. They're easy enough to take care of. There's one on each ledge. There's another one here. And then we're going to have another enemy up here. But I'm almost guaranteed to take some damage here. I've got 8 large medipacks, so I think I'm going to use one. Because I'm definitely going to take quite a bit of damage here. Because there's a thug, 2 rats, and a dog. Actually wasn't as much damage as I thought I'd take. And we get to conserve some ammo by doing that. So that rat just appears out of nowhere, and that's fine. There's another one here, and then once we get a little further down this, the dog's going to come around the corner. But we can take him out before he gets close enough to be any real threat. Again, this guy does not, in fact, drop anything. But where we want to go is up and around here. Again, you don't need to shoot through all the windows. I just like doing it for funsies. Right, so we are now in a dressing room. And now you might ask, why is there a big door to an air ventilation shaft in the dressing room? And my answer to that question is, shut up. So you can see that there's a key down here. This is going to be a little bit of an obstacle course with some instant death scenarios. So I'm going to pop a quick save. So we slide down, and just before we hit the bottom, take a jump. We'll get to this platform, grab the key. Head up the only path, really. And then basically what we're doing here is we're going to slide down this, jump into that part there. I was going to say there is an argument for trying to jump into that from the first slide down, but you'll miss the key, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to try. So this is kind of the only path you can take. So we're going to take a side jump, start sliding, get to the bottom, whoa, and we're dead. It's as easy to die as that. One small mistake. So let's just do it again. It'll only take a second. So grab the key, climb up. I find it a little quicker to do a jump roll to get yourself oriented right, and then no, there we go. Jump, slide, and then if you hit action, you won't hit your head basically. Once you're in here, there's a rat around the corner. Easy enough to take out. He won't do a whole lot of damage if you run into him either. So this is a bit that looks really challenging. There's a lot of things that could go wrong here. But the way through is actually extremely simple when you know it. So if you stand right at the edge here and just take a standing jump forward, you'll land. Do not move, take another standing jump forward. You will land. Make sure your back is as far back as you can go, you're right on the edge, take a standing jump forward. You're clear. It's as easy as that. You don't need to try to line stuff up, just jump forward and don't reshift yourself, just keep going. Our first secret though is if you turn back around, take a jump up to here, you will get the Jade Dragon in a weird reversal of the sequence you would normally get these dragons in. Do yourself a favor. I can see why you would, and I have definitely been caught out by this. Don't run up to this, do a roll because you want to face back out after you pick it up. If you pick this up facing backwards, Lara will step back into the fan and die. So make sure you're facing forward. You only just about have enough room to pick it up without taking damage from the fan. If you do it facing this way, you will die. So don't do that. Not good. I do not advise. In order to get back down, just take a standing jump, hold action. You'll just slide down the face instead of hitting and bouncing back off. So then we have a delightful block puzzle. Again, block puzzles are as difficult as you make them. If you know the answer, they are easy. If you want to just kind of trial and error things, it could take you a while, particularly with how long Lara takes to move blocks one tile. But if you move it out, you'll get this button in anyways. We want to push it through the door that we're about to open, so that's why I pulled it across one, so that we could just get behind it here and push all the way through. And you may have seen when the door opened, if you didn't happen to notice, this is back around to the dressing room where we started. So that whole loop, the whole point of that loop was the key, which we will use soon enough, but not immediately. I'll point out where we can use it, but I'm not going to yet. So what you want to do to get out of here is you want to push this all the way over as far as it'll go, right up next to this little jutting out ledge, platform, whatever you want to call it. Shoot these out. There's another block here, and we're about to do a thing that we didn't do until like level 8 or 9 of the first game, and we're going to push a block onto a block. I think we did this for the first and possibly only time. I don't remember doing it at all in any other level, but we did it in the first Egypt level, I think it was, in the first game. So again, you're kind of applying knowledge from the previous game, which does make the subsequent titles a little inaccessible if you haven't played the first one or finished the first one, but I guess that was the point. So this is going to get us back up to here. If you just take a stand, get a few pot shots in, once you jump up here, it's 7 shots with the automatic pistols, so as soon as he shows up, one more shot will kill him. You can usually get 3 shots per jump and then he'll disappear, so once he comes back around the corner, one more will finish him off. So with all that finished, we're going to go back up. So we come all the way back around to here, and this jump here, this is where we dropped from, so you can just jump back up. And you might be wondering, why did you not just, go from here and, just take a jump to there? And my answer to that is, there were rats to kill. So I did it. Anyways, moving swiftly on. This keyhole over here is where the ornate key is to be used, but we're not going to do it just yet. All it does is open those doors and it lets us back into that first area where we... where I was pointing at the boulder trap and where we would come through later on. I'm going to take an opportunity to save here because I don't want to have to do that whole vent shaft obstacle course again, and I'm going to do something that I enjoy doing but has the propensity to kill me. I'm going to do a swan dive because I really like them. And if you get this wrong and you land, if you land on like any of these platforms, it counts it as solid ground and you will just die immediately. So look out for that. I just like doing it because I think swan dives look cool. Right, so we're going to tackle the stage next. Get up here. Stuff starts falling. Things start attacking us. Someone will attack us from behind that I actually forgot about. There we go. I think he does drop something, so I think it is worthwhile going back. Nope. I just lied to you. He drops nothing. But it's always worth checking if you're unsure. Right, so I'm just going to take a quick run around here because there are more stuff that cannon will drop, and I want to drop them now so that they don't drop onto an item later on. And then we've got a couple of enemies down in here that I'm just going to trigger. Once they come around, they're both melee, so it's nothing to worry about. You can just keep backing up and you can get both of them. Right, so if this guy had died, like if you hadn't dropped these sandbags, you know, it's quite easy for him to die beneath one of these, and then when you go to pick it up, it drops down, and either it kills you, or, oh no, have we just... Can I get it? Oh, okay. That's a perfect example of just getting away with it, but that could easily have been a case of that dropped on the pickup and we wouldn't have been able to get it. So yeah, it can be really frustrating, and that would have been doubly frustrating because we killed this guy a lot earlier and I probably would have had to restart the whole level to get all the pickups, which is exceptionally frustrating. I'm not sure if you can tell. Anyway, moving on from that, we run in here, we got a switch, so we pull it, and it opens the gate on the far side of the stage, on stage right, if I'm correct. From here, we can also look down and we can see an item down under there. That is a very important item. That is the circuit board, and that's what will go into the panel I pointed out earlier back up the top, where we said the switch wasn't working. So we are going to work our way around to that, but again, this level requires a lot of kind of circling around, going back and forth. So we will get to it. We will get to it. Okay. There's another cheeky trap in here that really, it's gotten me a couple of times because I do sometimes forget about it. Your little clue here is the fact that there's a sandbag hanging from the roof here. If you don't necessarily need to trigger this one, but there is an identical one on the far side, and we are going to be jumping across to that crevice. It will drop as you jump, and it will in fact, well, I don't know if it always kills you, but it's always killed me every time I've done it, and that might be because I didn't have enough health, but it's annoying. So we drop it before we make this jump. Don't run through the glass. Glass does a hurty. So with that dropped, we can take a run and jump over here and not worry about it dropping on our head. Once we shimmy our way up to here, we'll be able to pull this switch right here. And while it doesn't give you a little cutscene to show what it does, it drops the bridge, which we need to progress. So we're just going to take a jump over to here, cross the bridge and work our way up another level. Once you come up here, there is a rat on the far side here. You can shoot it from here. It's It's not the end of the world. If you don't, you can shoot them over there as well, but it's a little bit narrow to try to be avoiding anyone or anything up here, so I prefer to just shoot them from the other side. It's safer and it's easier. Speaking of safe and easy, this is not. It won't knock you off, but it will do damage. Again, it's that whole perpetually swinging thing. I guess it makes more sense with a sandbag, but as like with the crates, it's just weird, and I think it's really immersion breaking. But anyways, I've already mentioned it a couple of times, I digress. I'm not going to keep going on about it. So all this is just a little timing thing. It's easy enough. This one is even easier because this does not swing far enough to be a problem if you jump here. And I just think that's hilarious. So once that's done, we can pull this switch, which again, it doesn't give you a cutscene for what it's done. But what it has done is it has opened this trapdoor on the stage. And again, I'm going to hit a save here because I feel like we've done a bit. And I'm going to attempt another swan dive because I really enjoy swan dives because they look cool as shit. And it's a kind of a hard one to nail. But we did. So now we're beneath the stage, and look, as I'm sure you're aware at this point, part of this opera house is flooded. You could see that kind of the area beneath the stage, and well, literally beneath the stage where we are here, but also the area kind of in front of the stage. So we're going to have a little bit of swimming around here, but before we go too far, we're going to go around this way. I'm going to light a flare here because it is a little bit dark. And flares do work underwater, and I think that's cool. I don't know how those physics work. Or chemistry, I guess it would be. But it does, and I'm not going to complain. So there's a little switch here. It opens the door up there. We're not trying to get to it. That's where we're going to come out. Before we leave here, you can see this little gap over here. And that is precisely where we're going to go first, because this is the second secret. This one being the silver dragon. So we'll grab that and we'll get the hell out of here. And we can just go back the way we came. You do walk extremely slow when you're wading in water, but it's fine. Our flare is probably going to die. Yeah, there it is. I was going to say it feels about the time that it would go. We're not going to go too far here. It's just surface here, and there is another one of our core items, or key items actually is probably the right word for it. I have no idea what this is supposed to look like. But what it is, nope, wrong way, is a relay box. Maybe there's some electricians out there or people who've kind of dabbled in this sort of stuff who might be able to tell me, is that actually what a relay box looks like? Because I have no idea. But anyways, I'm going to take our time getting up this ladder, because if I remember right, oh, it's not actually as long as I thought it would be. I thought it was bigger. I'm not going to comment on that. So this is the door that we opened with the switch down the bottom. If we had come this way first, it would have we would have had nowhere to go. So with that all said and done, now we're going to go and get that circuit box I pointed out earlier, and we're going to do that. I'm going to drop back down. It's a little too close for my liking there. We're gonna work. Actually, hold on. Yeah, it is this way. Oh, is it? No, it's not. My apologies. I've completely lied to you. We did not want to drop down at all. If anything, we actually wanted to go up. Right, we wanted to get back up to this top level. Because we want to go. Also, just a word of warning, don't go through that door. There's nothing there of value except a boulder trap that will kill you. So don't go that way. we want to go is around here. And there will be a dog who runs... Actually, I think there's 2 dogs that run at us simultaneously, but it looks like 1 dog. So don't get fooled. Once they're dead, this is where the relay box goes. You can find this area earlier on. We won't be able to do anything with it except for fight those 2 dogs. I'd love to know how that fit in that backpack of Lara's. Once that's done, this elevator will now start working. So we pull the switch. This will open and then shut and go down, which is precisely what we want. We do want to go down in it pretty shortly, but before we do, we're going to get our 3rd secret, which is right here. So this right here is the gold dragon that I pointed out from the roof. This is how we actually get it. And along with it, 5 Uzi clips, I think that was, which is always good. I'm not going to complain. You can go back that way. It's a bit of an awkward jump. I don't think it's worth it, because if you get it wrong, you fall all the way down to the bottom and you die. But also, if you go this way, you get these other Uzi clips. So that's worth it for me. And it literally just leaves you out back here on the top floor balcony or mezzanine. You can just run back around. So that is all 3 secrets, I believe. Yep. 37 pickups in this level is a lot. And it is a really long level. We're already at 40 minutes here. It's probably going to be pretty close to an hour for the whole level. It's a slog. Hopefully we won't miss anything and we'll get all 37 of those pickups. So, let's call the elevator back up. Take your time. There we go. It'll come up and it'll open the doors. But we have to hit the switch again to make it go back down, but it will give us enough time to get through the doors before it closes. Get your guns ready, because we're going to have a bit of an ambush down here where there's 2 gunmen who will try to kill us, and it'll be one from the left, one from the right. So what I tend to do is I immediately go left and just start blasting, and then do a quick roll jump and try. Like, you're gonna take a lot of damage here. It's kind of hard to avoid, but look, if you go in guns blazing with the automatic pistols, you should make fairly short work of them. Interesting point, you may notice these wooden planks. This is below where we ran along and jumped along the breakaway platforms all the way back at the start of the level before we got into the opera house. Also, I don't know how I did it, but oh, there we go. Doesn't that look cool? Lara's just like, huh. Anyway, moving on quickly. A devious little way to hide progression. We need to send the elevator back up. And once it goes up, we're going to drop in below it. Sneaky and devious. Try not to get caught on corners. So we're going to follow this around. Doesn't go too far. Surface is here. And this is below where the switch was, behind the stage. And where we're going to get our circuit box. So with circuit box in hand, we're going to get out of here, get back up to the top mezzanine balcony, and use this back where we first entered the opera house. So the way out is you're going to swim around this way. There's a little lever. You can go back through the lift if you want. I wouldn't personally recommend it, because this lever will leave you out here, which is where we dropped to earlier with the rat on each ledge, and then this part here where we had the guard, the 2 rats and the dog. So just take it easy, jump your way back up. I do think it's actually probably quicker than taking the lift, because it leaves us right out here where the keyhole is, which is where we're finally going to use it. And I'll open these double doors to nowhere, which I always found it kind of funny that, like, I'm sure there's supposed to be seats all around here. Like, you even got some side boxes for like VIP guests, but like just all these layers, all these levels, and there's no seats. Anyway, you are probably going to hit your head on the roof here, so hold action when you jump, and you'll just fall straight into it. And this is where I was talking about the boulder trap. You will drop here, the boulder trap will trigger. If you don't notice it, you'll turn straight into it. So try to avoid that. Then we're going to unhit this switch to switch this gate back around, because we don't need that access way back into the main part of the opera house anymore, because we now have those double doors opened. Come on, Lara, grab it. Come on. There we go. So we're just going to climb straight up into this room that we came in through. Again, a lot of back and forthing to previous areas and all that jazz. Pop the circuit board in there. And then we pull the switch that now will finally work. We do get a little bit of a sound cue, and what that's actually done is it's raised the back of the stage. So now we can go backstage. You can also see another goon who we're about to make fairly short work of in a moment. Oh, he's gone backstage. However, will I get him? He's going to come running out here now in a second. There we go. Again, he drops shotgun shells there. You just got to be careful. I think we may have made a boo-boo here. Can we get it? Oh, come on. I was really Oh, we glitched our way into it. I'm so glad that worked out. But that's a perfect example of it not really... I hate it. I hate that that's so easy to accidentally do. Anyway, we're going to get jumped here. So I'm going to pull these out. Another one of these will fall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around to here. And I'm going to try to give them every chance of not dropping their stuff. Not dropping their stuff where I would prefer them not to. Only one of these guys will drop something, which will be this one. And then on and away we go. We're nearly done, to be fair. We're almost there. So we're going to need to go around here. And there'll be a box that stands out as smaller than the rest. You can kind of see through a little gap in the side there. We're going to pull that out because it's a movable block. There we go. And then we can just hop over it and we'll find another switch. And what this switch does, again, it doesn't show us what it does, but it drops that facade on the stage back down. Because once it's up, it blocks our progression from this side. So you can see just there that it's back down. Now there's a hole in the back. Well, I don't know what they're actually called. The background art, I guess. There's a hole in it there, so to show you that there is stuff behind here. But you do have to drop it back down in order to progress here. I'm going to hit a quick save because I can't remember when the last time I saved was. There's another enemy down here again. He's melee, so we're just going to tip away at him he doesn't drop anything. So it's not necessarily a kill you have to make. If you don't have to go back that way. But I try to be thorough. Just hold, once you're locked onto him, just hold the action button, the shoot button, and you will eventually take care of him like that. And then watch out for this. That will kill you if it drops on you. I wouldn't recommend it. Don't go that way. You want to go this way instead. And there's a little... So, I don't know why this is here. I've never seen it open. I don't know what it's supposed to do. It's a door. But yeah, I've just never got it. I think maybe it's supposed to be some sort of way to circle back around. Oh, I thought we were going to die there for a second. I thought that was too far a drop for Lara. I'm actually curious, does this switch open that door? I wonder. Oh, it does. Look at that. Oh, okay, it's just a way to backtrack in case you need to go back and get stuff, I suppose. It's your last chance to go back and pick up any items you might want or need. But anyways, we're going to have our last room here. I just want to have a quick check here. What have we got? 31 and 37. I think that's exactly where we want to be. So a jump here will put you right into the swinging path of this sandbag. So you want to angle yourself a little so that you're going to jump onto this slope and slide down as close to the edge as you can, so that it just swings harmlessly in front of you and you can just walk on by. I know I saved very recently, but there is a lot of enemies in this room who can do a lot of damage, so I'm going to save here and it'll be the last time we save this level. I'm going to pull out the old autos. We're going to jump straight across to here, and as soon as we land there will be a guy here. Appears to have run away. He's gone. Uh-oh. This is not good. This is really not good. This is not where I want to be, because this guy packs a major punch. Come on, go down, please. Okay, there we go. I didn't mean to drop down. That was a complete and utter accident. I just accidentally let go of the walk button, which is really not what I wanted to do, but we got away with it anyway. He drops a lot of stuff. 3 grenades, but if you hadn't got the grenade launcher in the first level, the Great Wall, this is where you would get it. He drops it. Before we go too much further, there is going to be another guy. I just need to try and trigger him. There we go. He's going to drop a small medipack and some Uzis. Well, some Uzi clips. And then I think there might be one more. I could be wrong. Maybe there's one more when we trigger the switch. Now I just have to get back up to the top where all those swinging boxes are. There's nothing behind there. So this has kind of made our job a little bit harder because we have to actually negotiate this a bit better. From where we were earlier, it was considerably easier. Now we have to make some awkward jumps, which I'm not too much of a fan of. But it's okay, it's not too bad. It's very easy to miss this button, by the way. You wouldn't really know it's there, but I suppose the swinging blocks are probably the thing that's telling you, oh, look out, there's a thing. Yeah, there's another guy now. There we go. And he drops our last pickup of the level. So just before we finish this up, that is 37 of 37. That is all 3 secrets. And 46 kills. I think that's all of them. It's a lot to try to remember where everything is. There's a lot that can go wrong. It's very easy to accidentally miss some stuff. But I have to say, I'm extremely glad that I got everything on this go. Because if I had to do this all again for the full pickup and for the full pickup completion, I think it may have broken me inside a little bit. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that. Before we go too much further here, there's just one last thing I wanted to point out. You have this like cool silhouette of, I assume it's supposed to be Venice because that's where we are. I do think it looks cool, but I do also have to say, I think the original looked better. I just think that looks so... Yes, it's a little bit more old looking. I just think it looks really cool, particularly with like all the stars and stuff. It's just a personal thing. You can have whatever preference you want. I just think it looks better than the kind of silhouette-y stuff. Skybox looks much better in the original, or in the remastered edition though, but just those silhouettes of Venice, I think it's a matter of personal preference. Anyway, before we finish off this level, there's going to be a sequence of cutscenes that I'm just going to let play, and it'll bring us into the start of the next level, which is where I'm going to finish up. I'll let it play to that extent and then close up then. So this is the end of the level once we walk onto this biplane. So I'll see you in a minute.
The same now, is it?
Someday you will get a speeding ticket for that tongue, Fabio.
It's just a gut feeling that maybe you are wrong to look there.
Is your belief so fragile? Relax. Breathe deep. The gut, Fabio, has no more direction than a simple through and out. Greater than impulse. He possessed the Seraph. But he was just a disciple in this design. His death, plotting a path to be sought by the One, his son. You understand? Have faith, Fabio. Not God rot. We are searching the right place.
I know it. I believe it, Marco.
Good. Heroes, have you fixed that rail yet?
Alright, and there's the end of that level. Where we get our ass handed to us, basically. And we're introduced to Marco Bartoli in the flesh. Who, I guess, is... I don't know if it's his brother or his cousin or something like that. Seems to be having some sort of crisis of faith. To which he beats him and tells him, "Trust me." Because nothing says trust me like a punch to the gut. And anyways, there's one more cutscene here to play out that I'll just let run. Then I'll save it up and call it a day there, because this has been a long one. But anyways, let's crack on with this last cutscene, and I'll talk to you in a second. Alright, so there we have it. We are a little stuck. We've been captured. We have no weapons. We do have some. We have the flares. We have the ammo. We have the medikits. We have no weapons, so we're defenseless here in this next level. And we gotta find a way out. But that's for the next one. Until then, though, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again real soon.